Mr. Keith Taylor, how's it going here at your screening at the LGBT Center in New York City?
It's a pleasure to be here and to show the movie, this short movie that I put together in the last year, The Last Day, and to show people what happens to a person that's been physically abused or mentally abused. And it's a part where people don't talk about what happens. How does one person get from A to B to go to a school to shoot up the place or to commit suicide as an LGBT teen, or you know what, in this day and age it's even getting younger. It's like it's either 9 or 10-year-olds now that they're not even having sexual experience, but they know that they feel like they're a girl or a boy, and they're getting bullied by it because they look different and they don't fit in. And people just don't understand that, and that's what I want to show in the movie The Last Day, because there is so much people can do, but they don't realize that there's a part where you can stop someone from going from A to B and committing suicide or coming back to school and shooting up the place.
Now, it's a very serious matter, and how did you come out with the idea to do this? I mean, you didn't have to do anything, but why or how did this idea come up to do the short film?
I've had these poetries that I've done throughout the years since I came to New York City, because I was one of those people that got tormented and bullied and abused and mentally abused, and I left from Midwest and came to New York City. But when I started writing poetry, I wrote about my life experience and what I went through, and I've been sitting on the writings for quite a long time, and I finally got to meet the director and this musician, and she's a lot of things. Her name is Infinite, and she's a LGBT rapper, and we got together and we did. At first, we were just going to do just poetry and music together, but then I was like, we can make this into a film. And I was like, yeah, let's make it into a short film. But I had like bigger goals and bigger thoughts in my head. But when it comes down to it as an artist, especially when you don't got a lot of financial assistance or whatnot, it's hard to, make it all come together like, Hollywood style. But what we pulled together is very edgy and very gritty, and it really just sticks in your head. It's not the visual, it's the sound and the words and the emotions that it's like you don't even really care about what you're seeing, because if you act it out right and if you say it right, it's going to be sort of like Silence of the Lambs. Because when I saw that movie, it wasn't bloody, it wasn't violence. It was all up in the head, but I'm very proud of The Last Day, and I'm very happy to show it here at the bgsqd at the center.
Okay, wonderful, awesome. Definitely gritty is something that I would use to describe it.
Yeah,
now,
you saw it, so you know.
Saw it before. And would you say it's mainly about the suicide part of it? You dealt with that yourself also? Is that why you wanted to really do this film about the suicide?
I think that down deep inside, I just wanted to get it out of me, and just to let people know that this is what I went through. This is what the thoughts that were in my head at that age in my life. Nobody at that age, 15, 13, 14, or 12 or 11, shouldn't be thinking about these thoughts of doing these kind of acts. But nobody doesn't question, the person that goes in and gets revenge and shoots up the school and whatnot. They never go and say, hey, they don't talk to the bullies? They never go to talk to the bullies. They never go to talk to the people that push them to that limit.
Now, that with YouTube and the internet, we have access to interviews like this. So there may be like young little kids that are out there that might be considering suicide. As a survivor, and that you didn't go through with that, what would you want to say to them, young preteen LGBT kids that might be considering doing something horrible like that?
I would just say it gets better, and I really just want to say, you know what, you just have to love yourself. And I mean, that's really a difficult question to ask me, and because at the time nobody wasn't like giving me any kind of encouragement or whatnot, and what stopped me from doing it was from music. And I mean, this might sound cliche, but it was Madonna's song Vogue, and it wasn't the dancing, wasn't the music, it was the words. And what she did for me then, she did for millions and thousands of kids, gay, LGBT kids and whatnot. But I also want to say that's what Lady Gaga is doing right now for a lot of LGBT kids and teenagers and whatnot. And, you got to be strong. And if you still have that ounce being strong, use that part of you. Just say, hey, I want to live. And hey, you just got to leave and get away from, but at that point, for certain people, it comes with so many different obstacles because of the fact that their religion, their family. I mean, like for me, it was already bad with my family. I didn't even want to stay with them. They weren't supportive of me. And at the same time, I was getting beat up at school, and I was getting beat up at home by my own family members because I looked like I was very feminine. And so it depends on what kind of background you come from. But there are certain ones that they just don't want to lose their religion or lose their family, and so they commit suicide. But at the end of the day, I'm like this, you know what? Don't do it. Love yourself. Go somewhere where it makes you happy. And matter of fact, we're here at the bgsqd, and it's a bookstore for the LGBT community center. And when I was a teenager, when I was 12, I used to go to the library all the time because nobody had to go to the library. And I would go there to the library, I would just read. That was my escape, besides music. And just be strong. That's what I want to say to the teenagers or the kids, because I really hate to say that I had to say kids, because it's just recently this 9-year-old committed suicide. He was I think a gymnastic, or he was a cheerleader. He was just a little boy. I'm like, he's just 9 years old and he's doing that.
Well, thank God you're alive and well and healthy now. Okay, where can your fans find all your films, all your work, the website?
StarringKeithTaylor.com.
StarringKeithTaylor.com.
I like saying that because I just got my website up and running, which took me over a decade to get up.
But it's up now.
Yes, it is. And, I never had a chance as a teenager to do what other kids were able to do because, the background and whatnot. And to be able to do it now is like, it's awesome. It's nice. I love it. I love every minute of it.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. And we want to leave on a happy, positive note. I'm happy for you. Congratulations on your film.